My Lords, I rise to offer Green support for Amendment 18 in the name of the Noble Lord Alton and a distinguished range of other members of your Lordship's House, and also to speak to my Amendment 19, which goes further than the Noble Lord Alton's amendment, but I think demonstrates just how moderate and reasonable the Noble Lord's amendment is. Your Lordship's House, the British Government, many parts of British society have long expressed their absolute horror at modern slavery, and surely we can put this into this important bill where it is such a crucial issue as the Noble Lord Alton identified. And the Noble Lord did mention the Democratic Republic of Congo, and that, of course, the issues of modern slavery there and child labour amounting to modern slavery are very much an issue in terms of the energy supply chain. My amendment actually says where there is credible evidence of deforestation or human rights abuses. So picking the human rights abuses side of that first, much of what is happening in the Democratic Republic of Congo might not fit the definition of modern slavery, but it absolutely fits the definition of human rights abuses. And I have to note that it was actually today that I was at a briefing with the Foreign Minister, Teresa Kayangwamba Wagner, from the DRC, who actually gave us the news, which has since been more widely reported, that sadly the ceasefire that had been called in the Eastern Congo has been broken by M23, backed by the Rwandan government. And of course we have already seen nearly 3,000 people killed and some 3,000 people injured. And we heard from the Foreign Minister that sadly they expect those figures to rise very significantly. And this is in violent human rights abuses. There's simply really no other word for it. And to tie this to the Great British Energy Bill, it's worth noting that DRC produces 70% of the world's cobalt, yet it disappears somehow without trace and reappears out the other side as legal, apparently appropriately sourced material, without any traceable chain there to account for that. And of course the people of the Democratic Republic of Congo do not benefit financially from that. Others, damaging, dangerous, aggressive forces are the ones who are actually benefiting from that. The reason why I wrote this amendment in this particular way is it actually goes back to the Environment Bill Now Act, which a number of Noble Lords here were having much the same debate in, and there was the tying together of deforestation and human rights abuses. And of course one of the issues here is that Indigenous people are responsible for protecting huge amounts of the world's forests, and abuse of their rights is very much tied to the destruction of deforestation. And I note just one stat, that if deforestation was a country, it would be the third largest emitter of carbon behind China and the US. Now, much of that deforestation is, of course, linked particularly to agriculture. But when we think about mining, again thinking about the DRC, but also thinking about parts of Latin America in particular, mining and deforestation are intimately linked. So I think your Lordship's House has before it two amendments. I'm not planning to push mine to a vote, but I will be very strongly offering the Green Party's strongest support to the Noble Lord Alton for his amendment, which really, how could we not vote to ensure there is action on modern slavery?